Offensively, Des Ramos on the point. Gets rid of it to Stevens and back to Des in the corner. Three on the way, and that one's good.
This is a nice setup offensively by the Spartans right there. As we could see, something such as a simple play got the defense confused. Wide open shot for Des Ramos.
Back the other way come the Aztecs. Bounce pass in the lane looking for Smith. She was right in the low post, couldn't get her shot to go, and the Spartans take away the second chance opportunity. Those are the kinds of looks that the Aztecs were missing against Utah State. They had those shots right in front of them and just couldn't get them to go. As Stevens for the Spartans takes a shot, misses. Jasmine Smith gets to the rebound. She'll battle all night with Deidre Smith. Gets the rebound. Ramos then finds Smith cutting in the lane, and a skip pass easy to Smith, who lays it up and in. Say easy, T. One of the things that was mentioned in the pregame interview with Coach Craighead is that the Spartans missed 18 layups. So if those become easy, it should be a good night for the Spartans.
Oh, definitely. And Jasmine Smith already off to a great start on being aggressive on the offensive rebound. As we see her just grab two quick ones down. A great find by Des Ramos again on the offensive end. This is definitely going to be a good one.
Deidre Smith spins around Jasmine Smith, who put some good pressure on her but avoided taking the foul. And then as the Spartans get the ball across the half-court line, a foul committed against my lad on Cheyenne Greenhouse.
As we can see, there's going to be some full court pressure coming from the Aztecs today, as we've seen Coach Craighead getting frustrated with the Spartans. Look, like they weren't quite ready for the defensive pressure.
Greenhouse with the first foul of the game. Spartans take a shot that misses. Fort runs the floor and then feeds Greenhouse down low, and Greenhouse lays it up and in. 5-4 Spartans lead, just over 2 minutes into the game. On a Wednesday night in San Jose, Harris from the right corner knocks down a three.
That's 2 threes in the same spot.
It's got to be one of those hot spots as Ladd tries to steal it away. A pass going from underneath the hoop out to the left corner, and Ladd just gets a hand on it. But like the old NBA Jam game with the hot spots in the corners, Spartans have gone back-to-back.
Both shots were wide open also, granted. Both shots were wide open. It was definitely a miscommunication on the Aztecs' behalf.
Well, if it ain't broke,
don't fix it.
Spartans will try to keep going to the well as long as they can. Aztecs with it, working right to left in the all-black uniforms. Fort takes a shot, rebounded by Greenhouse, and her putback rolls around and drops through. So the Aztecs in the all-black uniforms with white and red trim. San Diego State written straight across the front of the uniform. And one of the things you don't see too often in college basketball, names on the back of the jerseys. They're kind of hidden underneath a lot of the ponytails, and they're really squished up top above the numbers. But the Aztecs sporting the names, which kind of lose some of their luster when you can't read them, thanks to long hair. Foul on Angele Harvey had us stop for a moment. Spartans continue moving from left to right as Stevens takes a three, and the air attack working for the Spartans early. 3 for 3 from beyond the arc.
It'll be important for the Aztecs to really be able to communicate that defensively. The Spartans have been shooting well from behind the arc lately, and they definitely need to be prepared for that.
Fort had her shot right in the lane as Ramos takes a three and make that 4 for 4. It will be a 2-point shot. Looked like maybe just a foot on the line. Got a bit ahead of myself there. So the Spartans get Des on the board with 5 points. Lead 13-6, 6:18 to play in the first quarter. Fort gets a screen and then throws it away, stolen away in the lane by Smith. Smith to Ramos, Ramos forward to Ladd, who spins her way forward and forces up a bad shot. But looked like she drew a lot of contact. And then in pursuit of the rebound, Ladd commits the foul.
That was an interesting call. I think.
Well, if the officials wanted to make use of their whistles tonight, I think just from what we've seen so far, it could be a very physical night and certainly played right on the borderline of clean and what should go as a foul. But the Spartans with the early 7-point advantage. Fort has it stolen away by Ramos on a bad pass. Now Ramos will dribble her way into the right corner, into Bird, who's in the game. Bird jump skip in the lane, takes a shot, and it rolls out. Rebounded by Greenhouse. Working quickly the other way, pass forward to Harvey. Harvey has nowhere to go. She was dribbling 1-on-3 and tried to get rid of it into a forest of arms. Harris comes away with it for the Spartans. Now Stevens just inside the right angle. Down in the right corner for Bird. Bird coming off a season-high 17 points. Ramos got it from Bird, then feeds Bird again. Takes a shot off the window, no good. Ladd crashes in and steals the rebound. Ramos takes a three off the dish, no good. And San Diego State comes the other way. Fort drives in on Stevens, makes a nice shimmy shake move, and then goes all the way to the hoop with the left hand.
You just have to appreciate the relentless effort that Mai has been playing with, and the aggression that she's been having going after these loose balls. It's definitely going to be a big help for the Spartans tonight.
Three in the corner from Ladd, no good. Harris gets the rebound and then draws a foul on Harvey. And that's already the second foul on Ajale Harvey. And already it seems we're more than 5 minutes into the game, so we'll take our first media break. Spartans with the 13-8 quick start lead over the Aztecs, with 4:52 to play in the first quarter. This is Spartan women's basketball on the Spartan Digital Network.
Royal Coach Tours offers deluxe charter bus transportation service throughout the Bay Area since 1960. With a fleet of over 65 vehicles with various options and passenger seating up to 56 seats, Royal Coach Tours can satisfy all your transportation needs. Royal Coach Tours provides the most comfortable and hassle-free travel experience. Find out why hundreds of corporations, schools, sport teams, and other groups prefer Royal Coach Tours as their exclusive transportation providers.
What would a rivalry be without the fans? Could we even call it a rivalry? Why do the teams we love ride the road from city to city? And why do the fans follow them there? Why do the athletes batter their bodies, agonize over missed tackles and dropped passes? Why do any of them do any of it? Simple, for the excitement of it all. The same reason we do what we do at Nissan. Get to Nissan, proud partner of the San Jose State Spartans.
The Spartans play here. This is Spartan women's basketball.
Spartans lead 14-8, so I believe they did change the Ramos deep two into a three. They did. So Ramos with 6 points. Spartans with 4 threes, 4 of 6 from the perimeter. And that's been a big boost to their start. It's been all but 2 of their points, and Ramos has the other pair as Harris to the line for 2 free throws, makes her first, and knocks down her second. So 5 points are in the early going for Nairi, and the Spartans lead 16-8. Full court press on the inbound. Aztecs, couple tic-tac passes to get it forward. Couple new players in at the break as Fort puts a pass off of a foot, looking for Alea Brandon down low.
You know, sometimes when you're pressing, you're not always looking for the steal. Sometimes the point of a press is to do just like this last possession, just to slow the other team down. So by the time they get down to half court, instead of having to play 30 full seconds of defense, you're only looking at about 18 seconds.
Fort, the only one still in the game at the break. 4 new players, including Kimberly Ellison, who takes a three-pointer that misses out. Ellison in the game, along with Ariel Bostic, or rather Bostic still in the game. And on the other end, the Spartans, a quick response three-pointer, Nairi Harris, her second 3 of the game, and she's got 8.
It was a beautiful step back by Nairi Harris. It was a smart move. You know, she didn't force it inside. She took what the defense gave her and got a nice shot.
Gina Gomez, a 5'8" sophomore guard from Huntington Beach in the game. She puts it in the middle, right to the free throw line for Alea Brandon, and Brandon knocks down an easy jumper from the free throw line. The Spartans will take 3 for 2 all night long, and they've been hot from outside. Emily Van, Rachel West, 2 more hoping to add to that 3-point attack. Ramos in the corner to Harris up top. West on the wing. Van in the corner. 3 on the way. Knocks it down. Emily Van, first bucket in more than 3 games. And that's something the Spartans really need to see out of her in conference play.
It was a great ball movement offensively by the Spartans. They swung it from corner to corner and were able to get a good shot out of it.
Ellison, a quick response 3 in the corner. Kimberly Ellison shooting 22% from three-point land. She's 11 of 49 from beyond the arc. Second to only Lexi Thorderson in terms of how many shots have been taken, as Ramos with a shot that goes through on the other end. But she's one of the streaky shooters, Ellison, along with Lexi Thorderson, who we haven't seen yet. But they have a combined 13 games where they haven't hit a three-pointer. Fort gets a rebound down low and battles for a foul, as looked like she got a little bit of head contact inadvertently from Emily Van, and Van draws the foul. Spartans have the 24-13 lead, 2:30 to play in the first quarter, and at least in the early going, Terea, it's been the kind of game the Spartans want it to be, and that's not going to bode well for a team that only averages 59.5 points per game as the Aztecs do.
Definitely not. You know, that'll definitely be an issue, as we know the Spartans do like to score and usually have high-scoring games. It looks like they might be having a few defensive breakdowns. You know, you want to put the same effort into defense as you're putting into offense.
The Spartans, a team who really employ the old adage, best defense is a good offense, and if you can outscore your opponents, that'll lead to wins just as shutting them down defensively. After the second free throw made, Ladd feeds West in the corner. 3 is no good, but Harris gets to the offensive board, a new 30 for the Spartans. Harris drives in and draws a foul on Bostic.
Nairi Harris is such an excellent rebounding guard. You know, you don't get those often, but they make a huge difference for a team, and they're always good to have. You know, as we've seen, she's had multiple double-doubles this season, and it'll be interesting to continue to see what she does throughout the rest of the season.
Off the whistle, West had a wide open 3 from the right angle and hit the back iron. So San Diego State with the rebound. Ellison now with it for the Aztecs, has it stripped away by Harris, and she draws the foul. Nice play there to get the strip, and was on her way to the hoop, but Ellison able to tie her up before Nairi could step around her. And that'll send the Spartans to the bonus for the rest of the quarter, all 2 minutes and 3 seconds of it. And early it just seems to be that the Spartans have more speed, have more energy than the Aztecs, and have been able to impose what they want, as Harris makes her first free throw, and she's got 9 in the quarter.
The Spartans definitely are playing with great energy. You can tell that they're out here. They're playing really well as a team right now, as compared to San Diego, who is definitely having some difficulty struggling with turnovers, as well as offensive rebounds and fouls right now.
Harris makes her second, and that's 10 points in the first quarter for Nairi Harris. She could sit out the rest of the game, and it would be a good night for her, but obviously she won't. Spartans lead 26-15. 2 to play in the first quarter. Aztecs have it. Gomez puts up the signals, dribbling with the left hand. Now she switches to her right and will pass it off to her right for Bostic. Bostic gets a screen by Deidre Smith back in the game, and then throws a skip pass away from Fort between her legs onto the Spartan bench, and another turnover.
We can see the Spartans forcing San Diego to do something besides drive. You know, we know that they're a really good driving team, as we can see Coach Craighead putting the girls into a zone early and often.
Ladd kicks it out for Ramos, who takes a 3, no good. Bird gets the rebound, and then her putback is good with a foul. Brianna Bird gets on the board, so Spartans couldn't get the 3 from the outside, but Bird an opportunity to make it 3 the hard way. And here's a number for you, Terea, with a minute and a half to play in the first quarter, as Bird knocks down her free throw and completes the 3-point play. Turnovers, 5 for the Aztecs, none for the Spartans. And that's been a very telling thing here as the first quarter draws closer to a close.
I know that's something Coach Craighead is definitely going to be happy to see when she takes a look at the stat sheet.
And almost another turnover as Bostic drove in and kind of forced a wild pass to Smith, who couldn't hang on to it. But Van was there on her, and I think it was knocked out of bounds by Van. So it stays Aztecs ball underneath the Spartan hoop as West comes out of the game for Paris Baird, who gets her first minutes. Mackenzie Fort sits down as Ajale Harvey comes back in. Gina Gomez fed in the corner for a three-pointer. So the Aztecs with their second three-point bucket of the game. Make it an 11-point Spartan lead. Under a minute in the first quarter. Baird loses a handle on it, but is able to find the ball and Ladd cutting in, and Ladd gets the layup.
It's a great finish by my Ladd. She made, although she was off balance, she was able to square herself up in the air and finish that layup.
Smith opened underneath the other way for the Aztecs. A nice drive, and then an easy pass underneath for Deidre Smith, who made that look easy. Ramos has it stripped away from her by Bostic. Bostic off to the races with Ramos to beat. Ramos able to force a bad shot, partially blocked it. Now the Spartans back the other way. Home run pass for Van, layup, no good, ball loose. Ends up in Van's hands. She'll put it off the glass and in, and instead it will be a travel on her. So the Spartans with good pressure back the other way, quickly in transition. Couldn't get the layup to go, but at least got the ball on a follow-up rebound, but then their first turnover of the day on a travel underneath. So San Diego State will have the last possession of the first quarter. 6:5-4 to play now. Gomez wide open down low as Smith, and that's how the first quarter will end as she lays it up and in. And that's something that the Aztecs are probably going to try about 8 million more times if it's going to be that wide open for them.
Simply just lack of communication right there.
So we're done with the first quarter. Spartans with a 9-point lead, although the Aztecs hot shooting towards the end of the first, going 5 of the last 7 from the floor. Spartans lead after one quarter, 31-22. This is Spartan women's basketball on the Spartan Digital Network.
On warm shores, where the day comes easily together, where familiar tastes are refreshed by the summer breeze, where pan-seared shrimp pairs with crisp bacon and creamy chipotle sauce blends with buttery Hass avocado slices. All in the place where delicious flavors are enjoyed alongside fresh experiences. The new grilled gourmet shrimp and bacon burrito. Rubio's to the ocean.
With millions of businesses all in one place, the YP app can help you do pretty much anything. Of course, it can't make you a great musician. Or could it? You know, music's hard. YP has art supply stores, places to take cooking classes, even yoga studios. Yoga's very quiet. YP, the even more powerful Yellow Pages. Download the app today.
The Spartans play here. This is Spartan women's basketball.
Nairi Harris led everybody in that first quarter with 10 points for the Spartans. Des Ramos had 8, and then a couple buckets from some of the supporting crew, helping the Spartans to a 31-point first quarter. And they hold a 9-point advantage over San Diego State as we start the second. 31-22 is the score. Deidre Smith, 6 points, most of it coming at the end of that first, as she was open down low on back-to-back easy layups. She was all by herself and able to get it to go on good ball movement, but the Spartans start the second quarter with the ball, and Des Ramos immediately a layup through traffic.
It was a strong finish. She was able to use her body to protect the ball, so she was able to get the layup on Deidre Smith.
Bostic, a nice move to find Smith down low, and Smith with a little bit of pressure that time. Still able to get the shot to go. 8 points for her. Spartans continue a 9-point lead. Jasmine Smith loses underneath. Aztecs go back the other way. Ajale Harvey gets the feed down low, and she'll lay it up and in. And we're starting to see why the Aztecs shoot so well, but don't score very many points. All their shots come from within an arm's reach of the hoop.
It'll be
lots and lots of layups.
It'll be important for the Spartans to limit those fast breaks, because that is when San Diego is most effective.
Jasmine Smith back the other way, doing her best Deidre Smith impression, hopping underneath the hoop and then scooping a right hand off the glass and in. Spartans maintaining the 9-point lead, although the Aztecs starting to become more competent from the floor. They only scored 36 against Utah State, and they could very well get that by halftime as a good defensive play by Jasmine Smith knocks a pass out of bounds. And it'll be a right baseline throw in for San Diego State. Fort comes back in the game as Harvey will take a seat. Deidre Smith to the bench for Lexi Thorderson. So the Aztecs getting a little bit smaller. One listed forward on the floor. That's the 6'1" Brandon. Aztecs have it, 5 on the shot clock. 4-3, Gomez into the lane. Shot will have to come now, and it's taken and missed by Brandon, but the Aztecs get the rebound. Now it's in Fort's hands. Gomez, left wing 3 on the way, good.
And you see that's the cause of defensive breakdown and Spartans giving up offensive rebounds. It'll be important for them to rebound those misses.
Stevens controlling it now, Harris for San Jose State, and Harris will barrel into the lane on Bostic, and Bostic called for the block. Bostic was not even necessarily 1 foot planted, may have had both of her feet still in the air when she was called for the foul and barreled into by Nairi.
You know, it can be a difficult call to make. You know, you have to judge if the player is throwing themselves in front of the offensive player, because then that becomes the block.
Harris, before finding a cutting lad, took a couple happy steps, and so the Spartans will turn it over, and that's been something in the later stages of the first quarter. And call it a broadcaster jinx, the Spartans have had 4 consecutive turnovers that have helped make it a 6-point game, although the Aztecs have gotten hot too. Thorderson can't hang on to a pass. Looking for her, she was all by herself in the left corner in front of the Spartan bench. And they'll turn the ball over, so it'll be San Jose State ball. 7:33 to play in the first half. And a 6-point lead, 35-29. Ramos to Ladd, and Ladd can't hang on. There must be some butter on the ball as Fort goes coast to coast, and she'll lay it up and in with Ladd defending. And Fort starting to come alive with her first points of the quarter. She's got 6 now. Tied for the team lead on San Diego State is a foul away for the ball on Bostic. And that's already the 3rd on her. So we probably won't see much more of Ariel Bostic in the first half as Ajale Harvey takes over. Although Harvey has 2 fouls herself.
Yes, and that may definitely pose as a problem in the second half for San Diego State with early foul trouble.
Ramos pushes it into Smith, who loses it off her foot, but right into the hands of Harris, who tries a layup that's way too strong. Aztecs get the rebound. Harvey pushing it up the floor. Gomez 3 on the way, and that one's good. Gina Gomez pouring them in. She's got 3 now from beyond the arc, and 3 for 4 from outside the perimeter. Aztecs make it a 1-point game. Spartans had a lead as high as 11. West outside to Stevens. Now in down low to Smith, who will back in on Brandon, and a layup that doesn't even touch the rim. Aztecs get the ball. Fort to Thorderson in the right corner, off the side of the rim. Jasmine Smith the rebound, and she'll slow it down, clearing the lanes a little bit for Ramos to get the handoff and then walk it over the center line.
Looks like the Spartans might be a little bit fatigued right now, as we can definitely see them dragging a bit defensively and offensively, as well as I definitely think there might be a little butter on that ball, the way that it's just bouncing all off of everyone's hand. It's bounced off of a hand, a foot, a shoe.
Ramos drives into the lane and has it just ripped out of her hands. Then Fort the other direction has it ripped away from her by Harris. Harris forward to Smith. Layup on the way from the left side, off the glass and in. And Jasmine Smith with a layup in transition, and the Spartans force a San Diego State timeout as they try to rebuild their lead. It's a 3-point ball game, 37-34. Spartans with the advantage. The Aztecs timeout taking his immediate timeout, so we will take that break now. Spartans lead by 3 with 5:46 to play in the first half. This is Spartan women's basketball on the Spartan Digital Network.
Why wait 4 or 5 hours in emergency rooms? Come to Santa Clara Urgent Care, a preferred partner of Spartan Athletics, located at 1825 Civic Center Drive in Santa Clara. Their knowledgeable doctors and friendly staff will treat you like family. They take most insurance and have the lowest cash prices with $60 physicals and $15 flu shots. If ACT, MRI, ultrasound, or x-ray is needed, they're done immediately next door at Santa Clara Imaging. Proven quality health care for the past 6 years.
Southern Wine and Spirits is the largest wine distributor in the United States. We represent over 1,500 wine, spirits, beer, and beverage suppliers from around the world, while marketing, promoting, and distributing nearly 5,000 individual brands. At Southern Wine and Spirits, we are committed to our community. We strive to promote an exciting environment for SJSU students. Be sure to visit our website at southernwine.jobs and become a fan on Facebook today. Go Spartans!
The Spartans play here. This is Spartan women's basketball.
San Jose State, who led by 9 at the end of the first quarter, have a 3-point advantage with 5:46 to play in the second. 37-34 is the score. Rachel West, Rihanna Bird, Emily Van back in the game at the break for the Spartans. Aztecs bring Deidre Smith back into the game. Gomez with it, feeds Smith, who's up at the high post. She can't back in on Bird, and then has a pass batted away by Van right into the hands of Harris. Harris will run, now slow down on the right angle. Bounce down low for Bird on the right side. Tries to drive in, now backs in on Smith. Shot on the way, off the back of the rim, too strong. Rebounded by the Aztecs. Gomez pushing up the right side to Harvey. 3 off the rim. Ramos to the rebound. Maybe a little bit of room to move, but Harvey quick to get back and slow her down, almost even stripped Ramos. Harris kicks it to Van in the corner. 3 on the way. That one's too strong. Harvey to the rebound all by herself. Aztecs running with the Spartans. They have to be commended for that. Fort jumper in the lane. Good.
Again, that is when she is most effective, on the fast break, on the move, getting inside to the paint. It'll be important for the Spartans to communicate on defense. Now, 2 possessions in a row, we could see that they definitely miscommunicated and lost their matchup. It'll be important for that before they let her get hot.
Fort on the all-freshman team last year for the Mountain West, already a Player of the Week award this year. Spartans miss a layup and then force a bad pass. West steals it away. And another turnover on the Aztecs. That's their 9th of the game. So San Jose State with it, 4:10 to play in the second quarter. Van hands off to Ramos, who will dribble over to the right side, then bounce pass to Harris. Harris into Bird. Bird will spin around and shoot it and miss as it goes off the rim and rebounded by Gomez. Gomez dribbling up the left side with the left hand, splits the 2-guard defense of Harris and Ramos, and then blocked out of bounds. It will stay Aztec ball.
On that last possession, it just looked like Rihanna Bird was just so shocked at how wide open she was when she turned around. You know, those kind of shots she definitely needs to be able to be ready to knock down. Her as well as Jasmine Smith, those will definitely make a difference for the Spartans on the inside of the paint.
Ladd just in the game on a substitution, steals it away and goes coast to coast. Way too easy for Maimai. Her first bucket of the second. The Spartans keep their 3-point lead, 39-36. Fort answers right back with a jumper right in front of the Spartans bench. And Mackenzie Fort, if she drives in, she can score. If she's all by herself, she can score. Harris, a wide open 3, no good. And it's rebounded by Ellison of the Aztecs. The Aztecs could take the lead with a bucket. Ellison, skip pass into the corner. Harvey tries a 3 off the back of the iron, no good, but rebounded by Smith over top of Harris. And then Deidre Smith is fouled as she throws her put back up and draws the foul on Bird. Just the third foul on the Spartans, first of the quarter. Deidre Smith to the line for a pair where she's 22 of 35, good for just under 63%. And Smith ties this game with a free throw, her 10th point of the ball game. Harvey will check out. Lexi Thorderson comes in. And really for the Spartans, if they don't have to deal with both Harvey and Fort at the same time, it's a victory for them. Second free throw, no good. Stevens gets to the rebound and then has to save it into Ramos.
Those are always dangerous. I don't know if I'd have been able to make that same save underneath the basket.
Ramos to Stevens, now to Harris on the right side. She'll drive across, and then Harris trying to force a pass back to Stevens. Instead puts it off an Aztec leg and out of bounds. Spartans will throw it in underneath their offensive hoop. 17 seconds on the shot clock, 2:55 to go in the second quarter. All tied at 39. It's been the Aztecs' frame. Pass goes into a skying Ladd. Ladd tries to find a cutting Ramos and has it stolen away. She kind of telegraphed that pass, and it was just knocked out of midair. Now Mackenzie Fort. Fort will dribble through her legs. Now pass off to her right. Thorderson into the corner for Ellison, who will work her way back up top. Ellison kicks it out in the corner. Left wing three on the way from Thorderson, and that one's good. Lexi Thorderson gets on the board, and the Aztecs take a 3-point lead. Their first lead of the ball game, 42-39.
So we can see the Spartans just giving them uncontested shots right now.
Pass goes into Smith. Smith working on Brandon. First one doesn't go. Harris gets to the rebound and then feeds Smith again, and with the right hand put back, that one's good.
Excellent find by Nyree Harris. She is so aggressive offensively. It makes things easier for her teammates.
Under 2 to play in the first half. 3 on the way from Ellison, and that one rolls around and then drops through. Back-to-back threes by the Aztecs in a tie game and a 1-point lead, and showing their best perimeter attack. Harris drives in, that's no good. Smith gets to the rebound, putback isn't there, and Fort eventually ends up with it for the Aztecs. She's looking to run, feeds Ellison in the left corner. Ellison will hop back into the middle and then feed Brandon up top. Brandon doesn't want it there. She gets rid of it to Ellison. 3 on the way with Harris guarding. 3 is no good. Ball's loose between the legs of Greenhouse, and Ramos gets to it, and then a timeout from the Spartans bench. So the Aztecs willing to run with the Spartans, and dare I say, Trey, they might be running as well as the Spartans are, if not a little bit better, finding the threes in the corner. You could switch the uniforms, and both of these teams maybe playing the same style of game.
Definitely, you know, the Aztecs have always been very good in transition. As we can see, we saw some great plays down by Mackenzie Fort, as well as Gina Gomez. So it's definitely going to be important for the Spartans to be able to know where the shooters are and know where Fort is at on the court at all times offensively.
Well, the Aztecs 6 of 12 in the ball game from beyond the arc, 4 of 8 here in the second. Meanwhile, San Jose State, who shot almost 50% from 3 in the first, going 6 of 13, have missed both of their perimeter shots here in the second. And that's been one of the things to help the Aztecs get back in the game and take the lead. Handoff off the inbound, a give and go. Ladd and Smith, and then Ladd on the layup is blocked. The Aztecs, chance to extend their lead. Gomez, a rainbow pass to Fort, and then Fort tries a pass underneath and has it knocked away. Aztecs will throw it in, 59 seconds to go in the second quarter. Gomez standing with the bucket just to her left. Feeds it into Kylie Hurd, who we see for the first time, a junior transfer. Shot on the way from the corner by Thorderson, no good. Ramos blocks Greenhouse, and it goes off of Ramos last. And that's a play that still ends up with a Aztec possession, but for Ramos, a 5'7" player to block a 5'11" guard, not too shabby, and see if the Spartans can maybe do it again as Ramos guarding Fort. Gomez looking for a screen, gets Hurd to her right, instead will drive off of it, lays it up, no good. Greenhouse gets to the rebound. 2-second differential on the shot clock. With now 30 seconds to play in the second, Fort drives in, loses it momentarily, gets it back, feeds Greenhouse, or rather Thorderson outside, and Thorderson knocks down a three.
Again, just a lack of communication defensively by the Spartans. You need to be aware of where the shooters are at on the floor at all times.
Last opportunity of the half belongs to San Jose State, under 10 to play now. Ramos with it in her hands, dribbles around Smith, tries a three off the front of the rim. Thorderson to the rebound, maybe Gomez with an opportunity, puts it up too late, and then has it go off the backboard, the left side of the rim, and then drop harmlessly to the floor. So the Spartans end the half 0 of their last 4, 1 of their last 7, 2 of their last 12. Meanwhile, the Aztecs, 1 of their last 5, but able to put some points on the board from beyond the arc, and that's why they have a 7-point lead over the Spartans, 48-41 at the break. We will step aside for our first break in halftime, and when we come back, the Team Clinic halftime show. We'll check on the out-of-town scores. A couple interesting ones to get to as some of the games getting finished around the conference, and then we'll dive deeper into how the first half finished and what the Spartans can do in the second to get the win tonight. Spartans trail the Aztecs 48-41 at halftime. This is Spartan Women's Basketball on the Spartan Digital Network.
With millions of businesses all in one place, YP can help you do pretty much anything. But can it get you to the moon? Well, you'll need a space helmet. YP has space museums. You'll need parts. YP has MyBook, which helps you organize your favorite businesses, including hardware stores. YP even has a cheap gas finder, perfect for longer trips. YP, the even more powerful Yellow Pages. Download the app or visit YP.com. YP can do that.
Man, our offense was on fire tonight. Right, we lit those guys up. Boom, nails a three. We could go all the way this year. That's what I'm saying. Wait, what? This was our first game in your new Nissan. That's it. I'm driving to every game. Woohoo!
Shop ChooseNissan.com for great offers on our exciting lineup and discover a better way to game day.
Away game next week. Road trip!
Get to Nissan, proud partner of the San Jose State Spartans.
The Learfield Sports Directors Cup honors the nation's best overall collegiate athletic program in each division, men's and women's sports. The prestigious award continues its reign as the crowning achievement in college athletics, noting the remarkable efforts of student athletes and their institutions. To follow your favorite team, like us on Facebook. Find us in USA Today, online, and on Twitter at LS Directors Cup. Over 2 decades of excellence, the Learfield Sports Directors Cup.
Are you looking for a way to get your kids involved in fun community activities? Your San Jose State Spartans have just the ticket. Junior Spartans, powered by Kaiser Permanente, is the perfect way for your kids to learn teamwork, the value of higher education, and take part in healthy physical activity with San Jose State student athletes. It's a free program that includes 2 season tickets for all Spartan athletic events. Join today at sjsuspartans.com or visit the Junior Spartans table at any Spartan Athletics event. Become a Spartan today.
From Learfield Sports on the Spartan Sports Network. For a wrap-up of the first half, halftime stats, this is Spartan Halftime.
Back inside the event center, Spartans down by 7 at halftime to San Diego State. 48-41 is the score, and that helped by a 26-point Aztec second quarter. Spartans just 10 points in the second. We'll look at the numbers more in a little bit, but first, as promised, the out-of-town scoreboard. And as the earlier games, 6 o'clock Pacific time, 7 o'clock Mountain time, tips start to come to an end. An interesting one in Idaho. Utah State 67, Boise State 65. If the Aggies can hang on to win, that would certainly make their win at San Diego State probably sting a little bit less for the Aztecs, although scoring 36 points against anybody, let alone a conference opponent, probably will carry its own sort of pain. But if Utah State can go on the road to Boise, a team who is 1:21 to play in the third quarter. Down by 8 are the Wolfpack, trying to keep Fresno from being 3-0. They would be the other team to go 3-0 should both Fresno and the Spartans win their conference games tonight. The other game in progress outside of this one, Colorado State has a 25-15 lead over UNLV in Vegas, 2:24 to play in the second quarter there. So the Rams looking strong, and they've probably been the only constant so far. It's maybe their conference to lose, if that is not too bold a statement, although of course, Treya, that was their conference to lose last year and didn't really work out that way for them in the postseason conference tournament, where, well, they were kind of upset and didn't win the whole thing as it may have been expected that they would have. But that's why you play the 18 games beforehand to kind of get a handle on things and see maybe which way things could go. But when you get to that conference tournament, anything can happen.
Oh, definitely. You know, the game of basketball is so unpredictable. There's definitely truth to the statement that on any given day, it's anyone's game. You know, although you will have teams that are just better than other teams, again, like you said, sometimes predictions don't always lead to the outcome.
Well, and of course, when the conference tournament comes around for the 2016-2017 season, it won't even be all 11 teams getting to play anymore. They announced last week, I'm not sure if you saw that while you were out of town, Treya, that only the top 8 teams for both the men and the women will make the conference tournament. So you might not get to see the same sort of upsets, at least not from as far down in the standings as maybe you would have seen in years past. And then one other score to get to as we reach the end of our scoreboard update. At halftime in San Diego, the Spartans, who trailed by as much as 11 at halftime at Viejas Arena, have battled back. It's now a 37-35 game with the Aztecs on top of the Spartans. Princeton Anwas is 7 of 10 and 3 of 4 from beyond the arc for 17 points. Ryan Welledge, second behind him, 5 of 8 from the floor and 11 points. And the Spartans hanging in against the Aztecs. It's been the opposite story here. The Aztecs hung in with San Jose State in the first quarter and then took things over in the second, really shutting down the Spartans offensively and hold a 7-point lead at halftime, 48-41. We're back with some halftime analysis on the Team Clinic Halftime Show. This is Spartan Women's Basketball on the Spartan Digital Network. 48-41 Aztecs with the lead over San Jose State at the break.
Pesce Asset Management is a Bay Area financial firm ready to serve you. Pesce Asset Management specializes in creating a financial game plan for each client. Receive a free portfolio review by Andrew Pesce by calling 408-572-5695 or on the web at PesceAssetManagement.com. Securities offered through Questar Capital Corporation, member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Questar Asset Management, a registered investment advisor. Pesce Asset Management is independent of Questar Capital Corporation, member FINRA SIPC. Spartan up.
On warm shores, where the day comes easily together, where familiar tastes are refreshed by the summer breeze, where pan-seared shrimp pairs with crisp bacon and creamy chipotle sauce blends with buttered Hass avocado slices. All in the place where delicious flavors are enjoyed alongside fresh experiences. The new grilled gourmet shrimp and bacon burrito. Rubio's to the ocean.
The Spartans play here. This is Spartan Women's Basketball.
Back inside the event center, Spartans trail by 7 at the break. 48-41, and on the Team Clinic Halftime Show, it's time for the Santa Clara Imaging first half analysis. And really, Treya, I think certainly you can go into much more depth than I can, but it's been as simple as the Spartans made their shots, made their three-pointers in the first quarter. The Aztecs started to run in the second, and were able to take threes and make them and really just slow down the Spartans offensively. San Jose State tried to pound it in low, and that wasn't there for them in the second. A big halftime adjustment for them, but when you score 10 points in a quarter, it really doesn't matter how much you score in the first or in the other in the half. It's probably going to lead to you not leading the game.
The biggest thing that has contributed to that factor that really stands out to me is bench points. As we can see, San Diego has 23 bench points right now compared to the Spartans 6. Granted, like you said, the Spartans were scoring in the first half with the starters. Now you see that San Diego has gone further in their bench, giving some early foul trouble, and have had to utilize players who maybe don't play as many minutes. However, those players have stepped in and they have been ready to go and have been able to contribute. You know, for the Spartans, that's going to be a huge factor. They're going to need contribution as a team. They cannot rely on Des Ramos, Jasmine Smith, and Nairi tonight to get things done. It's going to take a team effort. Everyone's going to need to be able to contribute to tonight's win.
Well, Nairi Harris, who had 10 points in the first quarter, went 0 in the second, adding nothing to her point total. She leads the way for San Jose State with 10. Alongside her with that double-digit point total is Des Ramos, who is 4 of 9 from the floor. Nairi 2 of 6. Both players with a pair of three-pointers. Harris 2 of 3, Ramos 2 of 5. Spartans have also gotten three-pointers from Ellie Stevens, who made the only one she attempted. Emily Van has one as well, as she's gotten on the board for the first time since the game against UC Irvine a couple weeks ago, and made her first in her last 10. But the Aztecs have gotten a lot more spread out scoring, and that's what we want to see out of the Spartans in terms of them getting success. Mackenzie Fort, 10 points. Deidre Smith, Gina Gomez with 9 each. Gomez has all 9 of hers from beyond the arc. She's 3 of 4 and really caught fire there in the second quarter. The Aztecs altogether with 5 shots from beyond the arc going in. And at halftime, 7 of 13 they are. Spartans 6 of 14, so still shooting pretty well from perimeter, but not keeping up the pace they had in the first. And probably that's nothing more than that just being at a reasonable pace to score that well beyond the arc. I believe they were 5 of 7 or 5 of 8 in the first quarter from three-point range. And that's just not something that you can expect to continue. One thing the Spartans will want to continue is forcing turnovers. Aztecs turned the ball over 5 times in the first, turned it over 5 times in the second. San Jose State, however, 6 turnovers in the second quarter. What do the Spartans need to do to kind of slow down that number and even bring it back to a grinding halt like they did in the first?
Well, as we can see, you know, I would definitely say fatigue played a role in what happened in the second half and them not being able to retain the lead. As we can see, defensively, they looked a bit fatigued, got a bit tired. As we saw, there was a lack of communication defensively. Offensively, they became a bit stagnant, you know, which then leads to unforced turnovers, bad passes, travels, ball bouncing off people's heads and not being ready for the pass. You know, so they're definitely going to have to fight through that fatigue a little bit to be able to close out this game.
Only one player in foul trouble. We saw that be a big issue as the Spartans went to the hoop quite a bit in the first and drew a lot of fouls defensively against the Aztecs. Ariel Bostic with 3 fouls. Ajale Harvey with 2. Those are the only players with multiple fouls. No player for San Jose State has more than 1, and they've only committed 3 as a team. First half analysis brought to you by Premier Scan, the official medical imaging center of Spartan Athletics. Well, as mentioned, we were hoping to have a score at least at the end of regulation in Boise, and it is their end of regulation in Boise. They've begun overtime. Utah State and Boise State tied at 73. So the Aggies and the Broncos playing a good one up in Idaho, and we'll have the final score for you when that happens. But we'll take our final break on the Premier Scan, or the Team Clinic halftime show, and then have the second half when we return. This is Spartan Women's Basketball on the Spartan Digital Network.
With millions of businesses all in one place, the YP app can help you do pretty much anything. Of course, it can't make you a great musician. Or could it? You know, music's hard. YP has art supply stores, places to take cooking classes, even yoga studios. Yoga's very quiet. YP, the even more powerful Yellow Pages. Download the app today.
On the Spartan Sports Network, this is Spartan Women's Basketball. The second half is just around the corner. Now back to courtside. Here's Jess Canaster and Tareya Cunningham.
Second half underway from Walt McPherson Court in San Jose. Aztecs with it, moving from right to left in the black uniforms with red and white trim. San Diego State written in white across the front. Kenzie Fort hops her way into the lane, takes a jumper from the elbow and knocks it down.
It's a great ball fake by Mackenzie Fort. She's an excellent player, very athletic, and she definitely utilizes all of her abilities.
All 10 original starters back on the floor as Harris drives in. Layup is no good. Deidre Smith to the rebound for San Diego State. 50-41, Aztecs with the lead. We'll see if the Aztecs maybe try to slow the game down a little bit now that they have an advantage. Although running is what got them to the lead. As driving in is Harvey, and Harvey with a layup and really no one there to stop her. Now a 9-point lead for San Diego State. Ramos will drive in, stops at the elbow, passes out to Harris, who tries a three, no good. Jasmine Smith ranges for the rebound. Now she'll drive in on Deidre Smith. Layup no good, off the glass rim and out, and then out of bounds. And it will be Spartan ball, as that was the near side signal. And yes, it will be San Jose State ball. Ramos will throw it in from underneath the hoop. She gets it in a little bit too long for Harris, and it feeds Bostic going the other direction. Layup blocked, but right there to clean that up is Greenhouse. And Greenhouse, uncontested, will lay it in. So now a double-digit lead for the Aztecs, starting to grow. It's a 13-point advantage.
And that's why it's so important that if something breaks down defensively, everybody needs to get back.
As Harris has it stolen away by Fort, and then Nairi able to recover enough to knock a layup attempt away from Fort out of bounds.
I think that was a steal by Bostic actually on that one.
Bird will come back in for Smith. Ramos takes a seat as Rachel West checks in for her first minutes of the second half. Aztecs throw it into the right of the hoop. Bostic down low to Greenhouse. Now Bostic back up top, playing catch with Greenhouse on the right side of the perimeter. Bostic bounces into the lane for Smith. Smith spinning around, nice defense there by Stevens, nowhere for Smith to go. Outside to Harvey. Harvey trying to dribble around Ladd. And Harvey with nowhere to go, instead puts up a shot, rolls around, and just comes out. Spartans getting the bounce there, and then now they'll bring it forward. Harris with some contact on her, no foul. Heard the calls for it from the fans as Stevens will drive in, layup goes over top the hoop, and the foul on Fort.
It's a great move by Stevens. They faked the handoff right there and caught Fort step behind.
Stevens' first free throw is good. Her first point since the first quarter, and you could say that for a lot of Spartans. Harris kept off the scoreboard in the second. Van, Stevens until a moment ago, and Bird. As the second free throw no good, Ladd gets to the rebounds. The Spartans with a new 30 and an opportunity to try to chip into this lead. West to Ladd, hands off to Stevens driving in, layup no good. Bird there for the layup, or for the rebound, and the layup is good. So Rihanna Bird, her first points of the quarter.
Spartans are definitely going to need more of that on the inside. It's a great offensive rebound. But as we can see, you know, the Spartans are going to have to continue to be aggressive on offense if they want to get this game back under control.
Spartans steal it away down low after a missed shot by Fort. Stevens tries a three from the right side up top, no good. Harris to the rebound, feeds Ladd with a handoff, and then Ladd's layup is good. Maimai Ladd, the first and only player right now for San Jose State to score in all three quarters. Spartans have brought it back to a single-digit deficit, 8-point game. 54-46, San Diego State. Bostic into the right corner for Fort. Guarded by Ladd. Bounce pass into Brandon. Now back out to Fort. Fort dribbling with the right hand, under 10 on the shot clock. Bostic drives the lane down low, and that's a travel. Good defense by the Spartans there as the Aztecs trying to slow the game down unless they find an open shot. And the Spartans playing tight defensively to not give that open opportunity. First turnover of the second half forced by the Spartans as Harris away from the ball hits the deck hard. Shot by West, no good. She seems to be okay, does Harris. Little slow back to her feet. That would be a big blow for the Spartans if she has to come out. 3 on the way from Brandon off the back of the rim, no good. West skies for the rebound, and it's saved from going out of bounds by Bird. So Harris back with the ball. She seems to be okay. Dribbling with the right hand to the left hand, back to the right. Ladd in the corner right in front of the Spartan bench as the Spartans moving right to left here in the second half. Ladd loses it off her knee, then able to get to it, and it rolls right to Bird, who puts it up and in. What a play by both Ladd and Bird as Ladd followed a shot, or rather followed a loose ball, diving on the ground, had the presence of mind to pick her head up and find Bird, who was able to clean it up and put it in.
Again, my with the consistent effort. You know, she's relentless defensively and offensively on her effort, and it's definitely been a huge contribution to the Spartans' offense.
What Des can do shooting-wise, that's what Mai can do with loose balls and rebounds defensively. 3 on the way from Gomez, back iron, no good. Loose, and it ends up right back in her hands. New 30 for the Aztecs, 5 to play in the third quarter. Spartans have trimmed it to a 6-point deficit. Gomez hands off to Fort, dribbling with the strong right hand. Fort to Thorderson, right next to her to her left. Fort gets it back, tries a 3, no good. Rebounded by Harvey, another opportunity for the Aztecs. Spartans, really for the first time today, have given up a bunch of offensive rebounds in a row, and it's come in the last couple possessions, especially this one. Fort back to Brandon up top. Brandon driving in gingerly, then hands it off to Thorderson, and Thorderson blocked with authority by Bird out of bounds. And Bird may have just taken out a cheerleader with that block, as Bird just whacked that about 10 feet away. And it only counts as one on the score sheet, but that's one that the Spartans will hope to turn into some momentum as they trail now by just 6, 54-48, 4:23 to play in the third quarter. We'll take a break. This is Spartan Women's Basketball on the Spartan Digital Network.
Royal Coach Tours offers deluxe charter bus transportation service throughout the Bay Area since 1960. With a fleet of over 65 vehicles with various options and passenger seating up to 56 seats, Royal Coach Tours can satisfy all your transportation needs. Royal Coach Tours provides the most comfortable and hassle-free travel experience. Find out why hundreds of corporations, schools, sport teams, and other groups prefer Royal Coach Tours as their exclusive transportation providers.
Southern Wine and Spirits is the largest wine distributor in the United States. We represent over 1,500 wine, spirits, beer, and beverage suppliers from around the world, while marketing, promoting, and distributing nearly 5,000 individual brands. At Southern Wine and Spirits, we are committed to our community. We strive to promote an exciting environment for SJSU students. Be sure to visit our website at southernwine.jobs and become a fan on Facebook today. Go Spartans!
The Spartans play here. This is Spartan Women's Basketball.
San Jose State on a 7-0 run in the last 3+ minutes of the game have brought it back to a 6-point San Diego State lead, 54-48. The Aztecs over their last 7 from the floor. They haven't scored in the last 4 minutes and 15 seconds. They scored 3 buckets early in the second to begin the second half, and it looked like they'd maybe have an easy go of it continuing offensively, but Spartans have shut them down defensively. Now they'll throw it in from in front of their own hoop. Mackenzie Fort to Gomez in the left corner. Gomez back to Fort up top. 3 on the way, partially blocked out of the hands of Harvey, blocked by Harris. Ramos back into the break for the Spartans. She gets to it, bounce pass forward for Harris, out of bounds off of Harvey. It stays Spartan ball.
I think Ramos should have took the pull-up jumper on that one. She was the open person on that play.
Emily Van back in the game for San Jose State at the break as well. Bounce pass in from Ramos to Bird. Bird guarded by Brandon has to find a way to go with it and try to get it to Ramos, but it's taken away by the Aztecs. Now Gomez on the left side, off to Fort. Thorderson up top. Harvey on the right side. Aztecs very spread out offensively. No player within about 10 feet of one another. Jumper by Fort in the lane, no good. Rebounded by Bird. Ramos trying to move it with speed back the other way. Fort slows her down. Ramos will pull up, passes into Bird. Bird high off the glass and in. Nice play by Ramos and Bird.
Definitely looked like it was some contact on that play, but it was a great read by Ramos. And again, Rihanna will have to continue to run the floor for those easy layups.
9 straight by the Spartans. Wide open 3 on the way from the right side by Gomez, and that's good. That'll end that run real quick as Gomez knocks down her 4th 3, one away from her career high in points of 13. She's got 12. Ramos, left angle jumper, no good. Rebound by the Spartans. Bird gets to it and then draws the foul. Foul goes to Thorderson. That's her first. And there are very few players on the floor without their hands on their hips on either side. As this game has been a track meet, to say the least.
Definitely, you can see the fatigue on both teams right now. Knowing that information as a player, you just have to be able to fight through it and want the win more.
Ramos 3, no good. Bostic in transition feeds Gomez in the corner for a 3. That's no good. Rebounded by the Aztecs. Fort standing on the Mountain West logo on the left side of the floor. Kicks it all the way across to Bostic. Bostic in down low for Smith. Layup no good, and she was open. Spartans lucky there as Bird was late getting to that defensive positioning. Pass by West looking for Ramos, stolen away by Bostic. Bostic on the way for a layup. Nice defense by Ramos, and she's able to at least foul Bostic, who will crash to the floor hard. Not sure that Bostic necessarily had a good opportunity at a layup, as Ramos did a good job forcing her to a wide angle, but then took the necessary foul.
Again, the Spartans are just going to have to take care of the ball. They are the reason for their downfall right now. You know, as we can see, just careless mistakes.
Bostic, who made her only previous free throw, is now, or rather, that's her first point of the game. Second is no good. Rebounded by Jasmine Smith. 58-50 Aztecs, 2:23 to go in the third quarter. Ramos drives in, draws the foul, gets the layup, and the foul.
Hey, great read again by Des Ramos. As you can see, San Diego was not ready and set on defense, and she took full advantage of that.
So Ramos looking to complete the three-point play. Does with the free throw. She's up to 13. Spartans trail 58-53. 2:15 to go in the third. San Jose State has the conditioning. That's certainly been a coaching point, as Ramos with strong defense on Fort and then a offensive blocking foul. Let's see who that was on. I think it was on Deidre Smith.
Yes, that I think that is who they called it on.
Smith, her second foul.
Looks like she might have been attempting to set a screen on that.
Ramos with a jumper, rattles around and out. Spartans try to get to the rebound, and it goes off the hands of Smith. Deidre Smith out of bounds.
The Spartans are definitely being aggressive on the offensive side. They have 16 offensive rebounds right now.
And by contrast, only 17 defensive rebounds. They have been everywhere on the glass as Smith drives in and Jasmine travels with Deidre Smith guarding her. The Spartans, their 12th turnover of the game. Each team has turned the ball over 12 times, and this after the game began with 5 consecutive turnovers by the Aztecs. Under 2 to go in the third now. 5-point advantage, San Diego State, 58-53. Spartans are in the bonus for the rest of the quarter. Gomez to her left for Fort on the outside. Thorderson in the corner, back to Fort on the wing. Gomez on the right wing, she'll drive in, draws contact, and then wedges it between the rim and the glass. And the Aztec bench wanted the foul, and they will get it. Emily Van called for the block.
And it's just simply because she was underneath that arc. That's an automatic block every time.
In the restrictive area, which has become a difference between the men's and women's game. The men's line here in San Jose denoted with a white line as it's 4 feet away from the hoop all the way around. The women's line remains 3. That's the black line you see if you're watching on the Mountain West Network as Gomez misses her first free throw. So go figure, you hit four three-pointers, miss one, and she makes the second. So that ties a career high for Gomez. Aztecs 59-53. Couple more possessions left in this third quarter. Van off to Ladd on the left. Ladd guarded by Gomez. She'll hand off to Ramos. Nobody switches onto her. Ramos takes a wide open jumper, no good. Jasmine Smith to the rebound, then stolen away from her. Ladd ends up with it between her knees, fighting for it with Bostic. And Ladd, once she got that ball between her knees, just squeezed her legs together and didn't let go. Looked like a mama hen not allowing an egg to be ripped away from her by the fox in the hen house.
Again, great effort by Mai Mai. I didn't even see where she came from on that play as it was bouncing around between Jasmine Smith and looked like Ariel Bostic might have had her hand on it as well.
So Spartans with a new 30 on the nice aggressive play by Ladd. Ladd finds a cutting Harris, and then Smith with the shot. The layup doesn't go. It hits the underside of the hoop, but she does draw the foul on Arantxa Gomez, 6-foot freshman forward from Valencia, Spain. Gomez, who's played in 11 games this year, primarily a defensive player, as Smith misses her first. Second free throw on the way. That will miss too. Spartans almost get the rebound, but Thorderson able to rip it away from the wanting hands of Jasmine Smith and Mai Mai Ladd.
And they got lucky right there because that could have been called as a foul. As we see, they came behind and kind of knocked Thorderson's shoulder off a little bit.
Aztecs content to let the clock waste out here. 10 on the shot clock. Gomez has it in the corner. All the way across for Bostic, and a touch pass. Don't see that too often in basketball. Just tipped it to Harvey, who takes a shot. No good. Harris gets the rebound. Ball's on the ground with under 30 to play. And the arrow now pointing in the direction of the Aztecs will have this be their ball as Harris got to it on the floor and was on her backside hanging on to it and didn't really have anything to do except be tied up. So San Diego State gets it back. Hustle in their direction. As Spartans with another change, getting Ramos back in the game. 20 to play in the third quarter. Aztecs with it. Bostic dribbling with the left hand, gets it around the screen of Thorderson, but Ramos able to hang with her defensively. Now 10 on the game clock. Bostic just waiting to strike. Can't find a way in, kicks it out to Harvey. Harvey, 1 second on the game clock, takes a three, well short, hits the side of the rim and drops to the ground, and that will end the third quarter. So the Spartans, who trailed at halftime by 7, able to trim the deficit by 1 point, 59-53. Aztecs with the lead over San Jose State after 30 minutes of play. We'll be back with the fourth after this. This is Spartan Women's Basketball on the Spartan Digital Network.
Pesce Asset Management is a Bay Area financial firm ready to serve you. Pesce Asset Management specializes in creating a financial game plan for each client. Receive a free portfolio review by Andrew Pesce by calling 408-572-5695 or on the web at PesceAssetManagement.com. Securities offered through Questar Capital Corporation, member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Questar Asset Management, a registered investment advisor. Pesce Asset Management is independent of Questar Capital Corporation, member FINRA SIPC. Spartan up.
On warm shores, where the day comes easily together, where familiar tastes are refreshed by the summer breeze, where pan-seared shrimp pairs with crisp bacon and creamy chipotle sauce blends with buttery Hass avocado slices. All in the place where delicious flavors are enjoyed alongside fresh experiences. The new grilled gourmet shrimp and bacon burrito. Rubio's to the ocean.
The Spartans play here. This is Spartan Women's Basketball.
(59-53). Aztecs lead the Spartans as we begin the fourth quarter. Jessica Nasser and Trey Cunningham courtside in San Jose. The event center, quite a bit of students here tonight. First time we've seen that in the winter break. The students not yet all moved back in. Of course, San Jose State still on winter break, although the winter semester is taking place now as Spartans begin the fourth quarter with the ball. My Lad to Ramos, into Bird. Spartans trying to make up a 6-point deficit to go 3-0 in conference for the first time in 10 years. And Rihanna Bird with a layup off the glass and in, trying to get San Jose State there.
It was a nice finish. She took her time to make her move, didn't rush anything, and got a good finish out of it.
4-point game. Aztecs take a shot, no good. Ball up in the popcorn machine. Ladd forces a pass quickly to get it away from all the pressure. Forward to Ramos. Ramos to Harris in the corner. 3 on the way, no good, and that's something the Spartans could use, is a bunch of 3-pointers. That was what fueled them in the first. Harvey the other direction. A lot of contact by Ramos on the layup. No good, and then out of bounds on, haven't seen a signal yet. Looked like it did go off of San Jose State, and it will be Aztec ball. Gomez throws it in, two-handed all the way up top for Ajale Harvey. Harvey just 2 of 10 this game, but Mackenzie Fort with 12 points. Gina Gomez has been the supplementary scoring with 13 for the Aztecs, leading the way for them. Stevens able to block a shot by Gomez. Arancha Gomez. Spartans go to work the other way. Harris to Ladd, and a nice bounce pass through the lane as Ladd lays it up and in.
Again, great finish by My Ladd. Great pass by Nyree Harris. So we can start to see the Spartans playing with a little bit more urgency. They're definitely going to need it to close out this game.
Now it's a 2-point game. Spartans with the first 4 points here in the fourth. 59-57, Aztecs with the lead in the ball. Thorderson holding it up top. Hands it off to Gomez, guarded by Harris. Gomez loses possession of the dribble. Harris steals it away and then almost has it stolen away from her by Harvey. Feeds Ladd down low, layup off the glass and in, and we are tied at 59. Good work by the front court combination of Nyree Harris and My Ladd to get the first 6 points here in the fourth and re-energize this crowd and get the Spartans even with the Aztecs. Thorderson 3 from the left wing, off the rim, high up in the air, ball loose, and Bird tips it to Stevens. Ramos with it, now an opportunity for the Spartans to take a lead. Ramos forward to Bird. Bird off the glass, hits the rim 3 times and drops through, and a timeout called by the Aztecs as the Spartans go on an 8-0 run in the first 2 minutes and 27 seconds of the fourth quarter. And that's the Spartans offense for you.
And that is exactly what can happen when you play that type of offense. Just as fast as you can go up 20, you can go down 20. So it's going to be important for them to maintain that energy. And as we can see, My and Nyree, just a dynamic duo right now in the backcourt.
The Aztecs call the full timeout. That's our bonus media timeout of the half. Spartans 8-0 run to start the fourth, 61-59 over the Aztecs. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be a fun finish here from San Jose. Spartans women's basketball on the Spartan Digital Network.
Man, our offense was on fire tonight. Right, we lit those guys up. Boom, nails a 3. We could go all the way this year. That's what I'm saying. Wait, what? This was our first game in your new Nissan. That's it. I'm driving to every game. Woohoo!
Shop ChooseNissan.com for great offers on our exciting lineup and discover a better way to game day.
Away game next week. Road trip!
Get to Nissan, proud partner of the San Jose State Spartans.
Are you a real Spartan fan? A card-carrying fan? Now you can be with a Spartan debit card design from Meriwest Credit Union. Meriwest has an account to fit the way you live. All electronic checking, high-interest checking, and ATM surcharge-free. Plus your choice of 2 San Jose State debit card designs. Meriwest is here to make banking, and now, showing your Spartan pride, easier. Learn more at Meriwest.com.
The Spartans play here. This is Spartan women's basketball.
61-59, Spartans with the lead. Now the Aztecs will have to play comeback here with 7:25 to play in the fourth quarter, so still plenty of time to go in this one. Fort driving in, kicks it out to the right. A shot by Greenhouse, no good. Rebounded by Deidre Smith. Then her putback goes off the base of the backboard, but off a Spartan hand out of bounds.
Great defense by Rihanna Bird not to commit that foul. She stood straight up, got a good contest, and forced the missed shot.
Well, this game has been all offense, so you can point to the shooting percentages as a perfect representation of how this game has gone as Mackenzie Fort spins in the lane as she hits the ground, gets rid of it to Greenhouse, and Greenhouse forces a bad pass that's taken away by San Jose State. Harris forward to Ramos, and Ramos can't hang on. Nice speed by the Spartans, but maybe a little too fast and too much mustard on the pass by Harris looking to Ramos.
I think Nairi thought Des was going to continue to keep running, and why she kind of threw her a little pass with the lead on it. But again, great idea, and they're going to need more of that to close out this quarter.
Still a 2-point lead for San Jose State. The Aztecs 0 of 6 from the floor here in the fourth. Make that 0 of 7 as Fort has a jumper miss off the front of the rim. Greenhouse gets to the rebound, but the offensive rebounds keeping things alive for San Diego State. Fort back with it, drives in from the left side, passes while midair to Deidre Smith, and is fouled in the process of the pass by Harris.
And the Spartans not looking to give up much right now inside the paint. As we can see, they're kind of playing compacted, and San Diego's having a hard time getting inside the key.
Van in for Stevens. The Spartans getting ready for the stretch run, which should be an entertaining finish. Still a 2-point lead. Fort off the inbound, dribbling around, passes over to Harvey. Harvey on the left side will dribble in right outside the lane, take a jumper, no good. Greenhouse to the rebound, put back is good, and we're tied at 61. Right back the other way is Ramos. Guarded by Fort, gets a screen by Bird. Van tries a 3, and that one's good. Emily Van, her second 3, and that's a big one to put the Spartans back up. 5:47 to play. 3-point lead, San Jose State. Ladd guards around a screen by Smith, and then as Bostic hits the ground, a defensive foul on the Spartans. That's Emily Van who gets called for the block, and Bostic looks like maybe a cramp as she's holding her leg, getting some help from a teammate. Looked like stretching out the hamstring there. Always when you grab the toes. That's what it seems to be.
I missed the collision. I couldn't really see from here what happened on that and why Emily Van got the foul. It looks like she might have tried to take a charge again. I can't see what's going on. In those situations, before taking a charge, you always want to be aware of where you are on the court, especially inside the key, and want to make sure you're not inside that restricted area.
Second foul of the quarter on the Spartans. Those are the only 2 fouls in the frame. Harvey, now Bostic standing on the first S in the Spartan Warriors shields. Now Harvey on the other side in the corner, trying to get around West. Nice defense by her. Pass to Greenhouse, and then a foul on Harris as she had it almost stolen away. And Nairi called for her second. The Spartans have to be a little careful here. They want to continue to be aggressive defensively, but 3 fouls in the quarter already. The Aztecs coming in as a team only shooting 61% from the free throw line, but they're 5 of 8 from the charity stripe in this game, right around that average. But you don't want to give them the opportunities for free points. Game going again. Gina Gomez has it for the Aztecs. Trying to get a screen from Smith, then passes off the screen to Fort in the corner, guarded by Harris. Ford in the middle of the lane, jumper on the way, rattles around out. Smith there for the rebound, and that putback is good. Another offensive rebound by the Aztecs directly leads to points, and it's a 1-point ball game again.
You see, offensively right now, San Diego State's really looking to get that mismatch off that high screen and roll. You know, it was effective in the first half when, you know, they were able to catch the Spartans on a miscommunication. However, the Spartans doing a pretty good job right now guarding that defensively.
Ramos starts and stops a few times before getting to the hoop, and on the layup draws the foul on Nidra Smith. That's her third, and that will take us to our regularly scheduled media timeout. The final media break of regulation, 4:38 to play. 4:38 to play for San Jose State, 63 for San Diego State. It's a good one. Have the conclusion for you when we come back. This is Spartan Women's Basketball on the Spartan Digital Network.
Are you looking for a way to get your kids involved in fun community activities? Your San Jose State Spartans have just the ticket. Junior Spartans, powered by Kaiser Permanente, is the perfect way for your kids to learn teamwork, the value of higher education, and take part in healthy physical activity with San Jose State student athletes. It's a free program that includes 2 season tickets for all Spartan athletic events. Join today at sjsuspartans.com or visit the Junior Spartans table at any Spartan Athletics event. Become a Spartan today.
With millions of businesses all in one place, YP can help you do pretty much anything. But can it get you to the moon? Well, you'll need a space helmet, YP has Space Museums. You'll need parts. YP has MyBook, which helps you organize your favorite businesses, including hardware stores. YP even has a cheap gas finder, perfect for longer trips. YP, the even more powerful Yellow Pages. Download the app or visit YP.com. YP can do that.
The Spartans play here. This is Spartan Women's Basketball.
4:38 left in the fourth quarter. Spartans 64, Aztecs 63. And Trey, I mentioned it to you in the break. San Jose State not shooting a lot of threes. They took 11 three-point attempts in the first quarter. Since then, 3 in the second, 4 in the third, and just 2 in the fourth. For those of you who are bad at math, luckily those are all single-digit numbers. That's 9 three-pointers since the first, and not even necessarily have they not been there, they just haven't been looking.
No, you know, they've been looking around a lot of dribble man weave across the top, and, you know, looking to get the ball inside the paint, which has been effective for them. Right now, they have, let's see, 34 points in the paint out of the 66. So they're definitely looking to get the ball inside, and it has been effective for them.
Ramos knocks down both of her free throws. Those are her first points of the fourth quarter, and they need her to come alive, or somebody, if the Spartans want to hang on to win 66-63. Spartans with the lead. Aztecs have the ball, working to the hoop to our right. Fort to Gomez, wide open 3 on the way. That'll miss the mark. Van hustling for the rebound all by herself. She gets to it. Forward to Ramos. Now Ramos spotted up on the left side of the key for a moment, then got rid of it. Now has it back. Bird has it up top. No danger of her shooting the 3, and she'll put the ball on the floor, dribble in, hand off underneath to Ramos, and Ramos will step out of bounds.
And in those cases for Rihanna, when you're that close to the basket and you've already done the work to get there, you might as well go ahead and go up with it.
So a couple turnovers, keep it a 3-point San Jose State lead, under 4 to play now. Gomez drives in, tries to take a shot, and is fouled in the process from the high post on And the foul is on, rather, Nairi Harris. That's her third. And the fourth team foul by the Spartans, so the next one will put them in the bonus.
Something you definitely don't want to do with 3 minutes and 43 seconds remaining left in the fourth quarter. The Spartans have to be careful and ensure to watch those fouls.
New career high for Gomez as she makes her first. Second misses out. Harris to the rebound for San Jose State. She's trying to run it up the floor. Guarded by Fort, draws the foul as she has her layup blocked. And Harris to the line as she draws the third foul on Mackenzie Fort. A great speed by Nairi Harris, able to weave around a couple players and just streak up the right sideline.
It was an excellent rebound to start with. Again, just the rebounding effort. She has 7 rebounds right now.
First free throw hits the back iron and misses out. 66-64. Make it 67-64 as Nairi makes her second. Fifth free throw made for her, 5 of 6 from the line. Spartans 10 of 14 as a team. Although the Aztecs have 3 fouls to give with 3:30 to go. Gomez guarded by West in a 3-point Spartan lead. Thordarson will try the 3, misses everything. Smith has a rebound and then saved by another Aztec. Ford in the lane, shot no good. Ball loose in the middle, and who comes out with it? Rachel West for the Spartans. That was a bit of a cement mixer that West just kind of had it land in her hands and squeezed it. Now Ramos around a screen by Bird, and Bird called for the block on Fort as Fort hits the deck. Bird looked a little confused as definitely knocked Fort to the ground, but whether or not that was while she was moving. Again, a split-second call. It's difficult to make those, difficult to see them even when they happen right in front of you.
Oh yeah, definitely. 'Cause it's hard to determine if the player's feet were still moving or not.
Gomez blocked in the lane. Harris with Ramos on her right. Layup is good. Nice play by Harris and Ramos. Spartans extended 5-point lead now. Gomez drives into the lane again, gets around the screen, blocked by Bird, but the foul on her. Bird with the strong foul knocked Gomez to the ground, but Bird got too much arm of Gina Gomez to go along with the ball. And that will send the Aztecs to the line for the remainder of the game. They will be in the bonus. Gomez, first free throw, misses. So each team now with 3 players in foul trouble. Spartans have Harris, Van, and Bird with 3. Although Van now to the bench for Ellie Stevens. Smith and Fort both in the game with three fouls for the Aztecs. Bostic on the bench with 3 as well as Gomez makes her second free throw. Gomez with a team lead, 15 points. Fort with 12. Smith with 11 as Gomez takes the seat for Ariel Bostic. And all 5 starters back in for the Aztecs. Ramos drives in. Layup off the rim, no good. In transition the other way. Ford has to spin around to get a pass. Now she drives in on Stevens, knocked away from her by Ellie, and Ramos collects it.
Great defense by the Spartans. They definitely look to seem to have found their second wind in this fourth quarter here, and are doing an excellent job.
2 minutes left. Spartans lead by 4, 69-65. Ramos gets a screen by Stevens, drives in from the right side, layup no good off the glass. Bird put back no good. Second putback is good. Brianna Bird, 15 points. Spartans stretch it back to 6. Bostic drives in, knocked to the ground. Deidre Smith collects it, kicks it out to Harvey. Greenhouse now on the right side. Fort drives into a forest of bodies, finds Smith, and Smith gets it. An easy layup off the glass and in.
And there is still way too much time left on the clock for the Spartans to be giving up those easy baskets.
And then a timeout called by the Aztecs. Furious play on both ends. These teams will very much enjoy the end of game rest, although the Spartans, of course, And I'm sure the Aztecs, too, would enjoy it more if they come out on the right side of the scoreboard. At stake for the Spartans would be 3-0 in conference play for the first time since 2005, 2006 when they started the season. They started the WAC season 4-0 for the Aztecs, looking to rebound after a big win at Wyoming, a potentially even bigger loss to Utah State, who ended up losing in overtime to Boise. Ellie Stevens to throw it in underneath the offensive or the defensive bucket. Then a foul away from it all on the Spartans. That's on Ramos. And that's a big mistake because that sends the Aztecs to the line.
It's an offensive foul. No free throws on offensive fouls.
And that's why I have you along with me. If they line up for free throws, I'll call it that way. So they're not shooting. Instead, Gomez will bounce it into Bostic. But still a turnover nonetheless, and now a foul away from the ball as Ramos and Smith together. And that's the third on Ramos. And at this point in the game, to call the off-ball contact, a little surprising because they've let so much of it go on both ends as Deidre Smith makes her first. The Aztecs creeping back in. It's a three-point game. Now it's a two-point game as Smith makes the second. And since I didn't get to say it the last time and have it be true, Treya, a big foul sending the Aztecs to the line in the bonus.
Yes, indeed. Definitely not the smartest play by the Spartans. However, I definitely think that call was a bit debatable. It was 5'7" Des Ramos against 6'1", Deidre Smith. I don't think that there was much of a battle to be had on that.
On the inbound, Ramos to the hoop with the right hand, gets the bucket to fall, and draws the foul. And that's a foul the direction the Spartans will be happy with as Fort draws her fourth. Ramos up to a game-high 19, and she'll head to the line and try to complete the three-point play. Spartans already have a 4-point advantage, so it can't become more than a two-possession game like it is already, as Ramos does sink the free throw. And the Spartan lead is 5. Last 80 seconds of the game, 74-69, San Jose State. Fort around a screen of Greenhouse, drives in, blocked by a couple arms, but also draws the foul off of one of those hands as well. And it is on Ramos, the foul, and that's her fourth.
Surprising. I thought they were going to give that one to Rihanna Bird down there.
Looked like it could have been either Bird or Stevens, as both were providing the most contact on Fort. Fort makes her first, and her second is good as well, 16 for her. Now it's a one-possession game. Stevens into Ramos, who has to sky up to get the inbound pass, gets it back to Stevens as she was double-teamed. Stevens forward to Ladd. Bit of a wild pass there. Ladd able to collect it and slow it down a little bit, and we are in the final minute of play. Ladd hands off to Ramos, who's just inside the half-court line, guarded by Bostic. And finally the foul on Bostic as both hands were reaching in on Ramos there. And Bostic called for her fourth, so 3 players playing with 4 fouls. Bostic and Fort for the Aztecs, Ramos for the Spartans. Next foul will put San Jose State in the bonus. Ladd gets it into Ramos, and then Ramos is fouled by Gomez, and that will send San Jose State to the line. So both teams shooting free throws for the rest of this game, and that has to bode well for a team that's 11 of 15 from the line.
Definitely. You know, the resilience of San Jose State this game, they were down by 13 late in the second quarter, came out in the third quarter, went on an 8-0 run, and haven't looked back since. I think, they've done an excellent job fighting through their fatigue and finishing, continue to play hard, play strong. There is still a lot of time left on this clock, so it'll be important for them to play good defense and not to foul and send them to the line for any easy points.
Ramos with the wiggle got the first one to go. Second one was true. So the Spartans have a 5-point lead, 76-71, 50.6 seconds to play as the Spartans call a timeout. That's why we're in a momentary break. And for Des, and in the fourth quarter, we talked about off air and then on air, the Spartans needing her to go on a run. 8 points for Des in the fourth quarter to lead the way.
Yes, she's done an excellent job on offense, although she picked up 2 quick ones. Again, you know, she's done a fantastic job. She's made some great reads. She's had some great passes as well and brought some great defensive pressure for her team. She's had an all-around great game tonight.
Aztecs have it, 50 seconds to play. Fort drives in past Harris, goes between Bird and Stevens and gets the layup to go. What a play by Mackenzie Fort, who has had her points. She has 18, but the Spartans have been able to answer with more than that. 3-point lead again, Spartans with it. Ramos, Harris, Ladd, now Stevens with it. Stevens passes almost out of bounds. Harris able to just keep it in. 10 on the shot clock, 22 in the game. Harris gets the screen from Bird, drives in, layup no good. Bird to the rebound, put back is good, 14.3 seconds. And a little bit of hold your breath time there. Spartans have a 5-point lead. Fort will drive in, she needs a quick bucket. Puts it off the glass, no good, loose, rebounded by the Aztecs. Gomez will shoot a 3, that rims out, it's loose. Greenhouse now, Harris will grab onto it, and you hear the screams as the Spartans hang on to win. 78-73. San Jose State goes to 3-0 in Mountain West play for the first time ever, and 3-0 in conference play for the first time in 10 seasons, but the Aztecs made them work for it. What a game.
Definitely. Great job. Again, the resilience by the Spartans, you know, going down by 13, sometimes in those moments are definitely make or break moments, whether you'll continue to keep fighting to take the lead back and finish the game out strong, or whether you give up. And tonight, as we saw, the Spartans definitely remained strong, fought through as a team, and it definitely was a great team effort tonight.
Well, we'll have Rihanna Bird on the post-game show when we return. If you're watching on the Mountain West Network, you can change over to the post-game press conference. That will be beginning shortly. If you're listening on the Stretch Internet audio broadcast, stay tuned for Bird and the rest of the post-game show, the Camera Cinemas post-game show. Spartans win 78-73 over San Diego State. Post-game show to come. This is Spartan Women's Basketball on the Spartan Digital Network.